Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I am going to be talking about the April 15th, 2018 new moon in Aries. Well, anyway, people, on April 15th, 2018, we will have a new moon in Aries, and the new moon in astrology often signifies a new beginning, a new start. One may embark on a new project or endeavor. It can give much enterprise and initiative, and whatever may have prohibited you previously may not do so now, and procrastination and hesitation not an issue. And I would say certainly, especially in impatient Aries, that this new moon is going to be in. Now, whatever may have previously held you back, you have a better chance of eradicating and discarding, and also removing what may be frivolous at this time as well, and you could really move forward with a lot of progressive energy. Now, the energy of a new moon can be exceptionally rejuvenating, revitalizing. You're apt to have an abundance and surfeit of energy at this time. Now, certainly a great time to get something started. Now, people collectively may be impacted and affected by the new moon. Now, especially people with this in the new moon in Aries, in this case, with the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aries, or in Cancer, the zodiac sign Cancer. I mean, Aries, obviously, because the moon will be in that sign. And Cancer, of course, because the moon rules this sign, and Cancer is very sensitive to transits and phases of the moon, and perhaps this is strongly attributed to why Cancerians can be so fickle, temperamental, and moody. Now, the new moon in Aries, this can be very auspicious for starting something new with a lot of aggression, assertiveness, and forcefulness, and a lot of that, and a lot of fearlessness as well, with a lot of courage. And also could be really the best sign, I think, perhaps to have a new moon in, as Aries, of course, is the first sign of the zodiac, and correlates and corresponds with new beginnings. This could be a new period of standing up for oneself, and really in beliefs, and being more confrontational. New period for many of leadership, perhaps passively standing by on the sidelines, so to speak, is out of the question at this point, and really with a lot of pioneering energy as well. This could be also the beginning for many of others embarking on an Aries-like project, such as something connected with welding, arson investigation, firefighting, doing something with perhaps surgery, working as an EMT. It could be something new started. It was something combative, such as maybe starting to be trained in mixed martial arts, karate, boxing, wrestling, any combative type sport. And also, and maybe in some cases, many people more than average may be joining the military at this time. And also, this could be about some new combat and war, unfortunately, and it could be on perhaps on a grand scale. But for many, when I say war, maybe just like little battles, you know, a battle between you and somebody else. Now, on a personal level. Now, also, too, it's also, of course, important to look at the house that this new moon in Aries falls in, as this could impact the delineation. Now, in my chart, it's going to fall in the 12th house. Now, hopefully, this won't be the start of any spiritual warfare for me. I'm only joking, of course. Now, this could really, I mean, for me, being the new moon in Aries in my 12th house in my natal chart, this could be perhaps an opportune time for me to maybe start to combat limitations and restrictions with a lot of Aries-like assertiveness and aggressiveness, and not be readily discouraged as well in the process. Now, it could also be about maybe the way this may manifest for me also could be perhaps helping those less fortunate than many, with a lot of that Aries forcefulness and courage, and maybe helping people such as the oppressed, the impoverished, the homeless, and the hungry. And the fact that it's going to make a conjunction to Uranus, this new moon in Aries, that could be done perhaps with a lot of maybe humanitarianism. It might be, maybe I'll be getting some assistance from friends in the process as well. Now, it's also important to look at the aspects that this new moon in Aries is going to make 2 points in your natal chart, as this could impact the interpretation as well. Now, in my case, it's going to, the transit's going to new moon in Aries will make an opposition to my natal Jupiter. Now, this indicates perhaps for me, I may experience some vacillation and distortions of mood at this time. I may be over exuberant and over enthusiastic one moment about embarking on a new project or endeavor connected with the new moon in Aries. Then the next minute, I might be very low, downcast, and disconsolate, and very maybe pessimistic about doing it. So, also too, Mercury, interestingly enough for me on this day, transit Mercury will be direct in Aries and will almost exactly conjunct my 12th house cusp of limitations and restrictions. Now, interestingly enough, perhaps this could be a review over such limitation and restriction will come to a head. And the fact that the review comes to a head, of course, is due to the fact that Mercury in Aries will have just gone from retrograde into direct motion at around this time, near this time, I should say. And back to what I was saying before, it could be a review of over some limitation restriction about pertaining to me might come to a head and will be directly expressed at this time. And also, too, transit Venus in Taurus will conjoin my ascendant as well. So perhaps this could be greater financial acumen with much of this invigorating new moon in Aries energy. So, also, too, it's important to look at the degree this falls in as well. I mean, I'm a believer in Sabian symbols and the meaning and interpretation connected with them. Now, the new moon will fall at 26 degrees Aries, and of course, 26 degrees Aries is a critical degree. Therefore, it could make it more prominent and pronounced. Now, in Sabian symbols, as far as the meaning goes with that, this suggests it may accentuate, again, ingenious and inventive energy, but also could be very willful energy as well, and outlandish behavior that may alienate family members. So let's say, for example, it falls in someone's 9th house as an example, could indicate iconoclastic behavior in the extreme. Now, also, it's going to make the conjunction to Uranus. Now, perhaps this could be very auspicious for innovators, and it could be at a time beginning of a new invention for many, and it could be also something connected with something Aries-like, perhaps such as advancements in robotic surgery, or some kind of just advancements in surgery in general, and also perhaps pioneering ideas that are associated with the head, such as helmets in pro football that might minimize concussions. Now, also, too, it could be perhaps the beginning or start of a process of creating a new revolutionary military weapon or firearm, and you might even see a little greater proliferation beginning of new cyber wars, too, I think, with this energy. Now, also, too, I think what's interesting is that the NBA playoffs, I believe, are going to be at the beginning stage of this time. I think the beginning is supposed to be like April 14th, 2018. So April 15th, 2018 should be in the early period of the National Basketball Association playoffs. And I do see, I mean, at this time, the fact that you got the new moon in Aries making that conjunction to Uranus, you might see really some unorthodox and unpredictable things be happening in the NBA during this time, and you're going to have a lot of these teams, even that seem like are facing insurmountable odds based on their seeding. These lower seeded teams go out with a lot of this unexpected courage and fortitude, and might even pull off an upset at this time because of that energy. But I think you may also see somebody do something maybe unprecedented or set some kind of NBA playoff record at this time as well, because of this conjunction with the new moon in Aries making the conjunction to Uranus, as Uranus can indicate unusual, unpredicted, unanticipated type things. So anyway, another thing too about this is that the new moon may, of course, intensify other electional aspects. Now, transit Venus will oppose transit Jupiter at this time. Now, this suggests perhaps more the energy might be a little bit more lackadaisical and lethargic and overindulgent, which may make it just a little bit more difficult in utilizing the new moon energy. It could still be used, of course. It's a very powerful transit, but I think it can make it a little harder for some to get up and go and take advantage and capitalize on the energy. Now, also, too, transit Chiron will be near the very end of Pisces at this time. At 29 degrees Pisces could mean or represent extrication or release from a literal or figurative imprisonment or confinement. Now, the new moon in Aries conjunct Uranus might give unusual, assertive, and forceful energy in helping others do so. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my take on the April 15th, 2018 new moon in Aries. And stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be talking about the upcoming Chiron in Aries transit. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.